Metro Conference of Edmonton High School football has a new power. The St. Albert Storm, just 5 years old, has emerged as one of the city's top high school teams, ranked number 4 in Alberta among the Tier 1 schools. Having 3 St. Albert schools to draw athletes from helps, but more so, Coach Bob Brayman and staff have done a job. Today, the Storm play Holy Trinity Trojans and will try to go 5 straight games without giving up a touchdown. Defensive leaders abound, led by nose guard number 52, Kent Nordholm. In general, a tough, big front 7. Offensively, look for 1989 MVP candidate Trevor Lovick, number 19, to direct a productive ground game with running backs Dan Procchio and Corey Albrecht. Conversely, the Holy Trinity Trojans are struggling to gain and maintain a 500 record. Among key players is number 22, fullback and linebacker Jeff Schmidt, a two-way starter who is equally as effective blocking and carrying the football as he is stopping opposing backs. Also, quarterback number 7, Derek Van Diest, relies primarily on his running backs, but will need continued standout play from the Trojans' offensive line, the main strength of the underdogs. It's the unbeaten St. Albert Storm and the 1-2 Holy Trinity Trojans next on VTV. Well, hi again, everybody. Welcome to Clark Stadium. I'm Tim Dancy, and with me is Bob Brayman, the head coach of the St. Albert Storm. Bob, good season for you so far. You have a veteran team as high school teams go, 26 returning players.
It's a great team this year, Tim. We're really pleased to have so much experience, and it's been an advantage because we don't have stars. We really have a solid team, and we really emphasize team play, and we have strength in a lot of positions.
Defense is probably your primary strength, is it?
It is. We have 7 or 8 returning veterans on defense and a really big defensive line and some experienced defensive halves, and they have performed really, really well this year.
It's very cold out here, about 2 degrees and a brisk wind. Does that change or alter your game plan in any way?
No, we're going to try and get out and run the ball, establish a bit of running fairly early. We may throw a few surprises. We hope to be able to try and run our normal game plan. I know the conditions are bad for punting, so we'll have to make some adjustments there, Tim.
How about Trinity? What do you know about them?
Well, we watched them play against Salisbury, and we didn't get a very good read. I know coaches over there were saying it's a rebuilding year for them, and I know what that's like. I think they can still do some things. They can run wide, for example. They did that with some success against Salisbury. So we're hoping to have a good game. We have a memory of a final game against them last year, and we respect all our opponents. This is a tough game physically. We have a tough team physically, and football's a physical game, and so we just respect all our opponents, Tim.
Okay, good luck today, Bob.
Thanks very much.
Bob Brayman, head coach of the St. Albert Storm. Forrest Kenner joins me upstairs with the play-by-play in a few moments' time.
Many women in the world spend half their day just getting water. With clean, safe water nearby, they could spend more time learning, teaching, making a better life. Just a simple tap can make all the difference. June Callwood for USC Canada, 56 Spark Street, Ottawa.
You should never dispose of hazardous wastes down the sink. And always read the label for safe disposal directions.
Just one of hundreds of things that we can do for our environment.
Let's do it now!
For your free booklet, contact Environment Canada.
With Forrest Kenner, Tim Dancy at Clark Stadium, getting ready for the opening kickoff. You see the bench of the Holy Trinity Trojans. They take on the St. Albert Storm at 4-0. Storm ready to get this thing underway. Very brisk wind coming out of the northwest. We've had cold, then not so cold, then very cold weather all through the day. It's come and gone, and certainly not great weather to be taking in a ball game today. A lot easier on the players down there, of course. This is pretty good football weather takeaway, this brisk wind.
It's a lot better than we thought it would be, Tim. That blizzard didn't blow in, and you can see they're having to hold the football because that wind is so brisk coming from the north.
Jamie Story getting ready to kick off, and there she goes. Up man with the football. Trinity Trojans with the yellow numbers complicating things. Jeff Schmidt on the return across the 25-yard line. Holy Trinity Trojans ready to scrimmage, 1st and 10. Coached by Roy Willis. Ball placed right at the 25.
That was a great way to start for St. Albert with a hit from number 51, Hudson Foley, just to set the tone here for the Storm.
St. Albert defense, one with good size. Up front as an example at nose tackle is Kent Nordholm at 5'10", 225. Dayton Braden at 6'1", 235. Rolling right, Derek Van Diest, nowhere to go. Chris Hamilton, right defensive end, making the play for the St. Albert Storm. Hamilton, the smallest member of the front three at 6'2", 190. But then as you look at the offensive line of the Holy Trinity Trojans, you have a guy like Gary Schlosser at left tackle who comes in at 6'3", 280. Then across the board, it's more like 5'10", 185. Rod Loyola checks in at 6', 220. Bob Brayman with the silvery beard to go along with the silver and black of the Storm. Big loss on that last play by Holy Trinity Trojans. Van Diest calling the signal, straight back to throw it, second and about 17. Goes to the left sideline and overthrows the intended receiver, Tony Perez.
You could smell that big blitz coming from St. Albert, Tim. 2nd and long in high school football. It's very difficult for quarterbacks to be able to read that blitz and come up with a good blitz control play. Actually, the play call from Holy Trinity wasn't bad, an out pattern to an inside receiver, but well covered.
Trojans come in at 1 and 2. It's an uphill struggle for them in terms of a playoff position through 4 weeks down the road. Trojans, meanwhile, are in great position. I should say the Storm is in great position to move on to a city championship game and perhaps provincials down the road. The kick from Hossinger. Storm, oh, they're going to have great field position. Oh, they won't need it. It's a touchdown in the making. James Clancy. Dean Roscoe, not Clancy, Dean Roscoe. A special teams touchdown on a punt return. And the Storm, who have beat up their opposition the last 2 weeks with big shutout victories, off to a quick start.
And that was a good punt into the wind. He just takes it off the second hop. And as good punt returners will do, watch him accelerate in the hole. And that's outstanding blocking on a middle return. And the acceleration of Roscoe just does it for St. Albert. Tempted to spike the ball there at the end. Didn't want that penalty.
38-yard punt return for a touchdown by Dean Roscoe. Roy Willis and some of the gang down there, the Holy Trinity Trojans, looking on, thinking, oh, maybe this is starting already. Point after touchdown, Corey Albrecht. And it is a 7-0 St. Albert Storm lead. Trevor Lovick, number 19, the quarterback, yet to throw a football or hand off a football. The Storm score on the initial punt return.
Well, if they get that kind of blocking on their punts or on their punt returns, I don't know if we'll even see Lovick on the field today. There just was no doubt that that St. Albert Storm punt return unit was going to put that one in the end zone. There were Trinity players laying all over the field. Not the way Holy Trinity wants to start against St. Albert. And as you've mentioned, Tim, they are definitely the underdogs. It could be a long character day for them.
Jamie Starry ready to kick off again. We are about 4.5 minutes into this ball game. That is less than 1 minute into this ball game. On a reverse on a kickoff return, number 32, Jeff Dzarek, brings Trinity back to about the 25-yard line. The 22 is where they place the ball. Dzarek making his way back over to the bench. Trojans defeated St. Albert Storm in a city championship game, a divisional championship game last year. You heard Bob Brayman refer to that in the pregame conversation. And Trojans with Dan Thames out over the football. Dan Deese, very little gain. Out of the backfield, Jeff Schmidt, the fullback. Sergio Oliveros at 5'6", 175. This little guy, good speed, quickness, tough. Offensive line, left to right, Schlosser. Greg Tishka, Dan Thames, the center. Roy Schultz, the right guard. Rod Loyola, the right tackle. Jay Hossinger and Brad Strader are the wideouts. James Candido and Jason Senio, the slot backs. Second down and about 8.5 to go. Trinity Trojans, they're 24.5. Van Diest, the give. It's the little guy Oliveras. Spent 2 years on the Trinity Junior squad. Now in his first year at the big boys.
Good gain from Sergio Oliveras on a counter trap play. The Holy Trinity Trojan offensive line, as you mentioned, is on average fairly small, and they're going to have to finesse this outstanding St. Albert front seven. There you see that little misdirection fooled the inside linebacking core of St. Albert.
Storm front seven, left to right up front. It's Chris Hamilton, Kent Nordholm at nose, Dayton Braden at right end, Sean DeBruin, Dave Granoski, Paul Ferrier, and Craig Balance are the linebackers in the secondary, depending on the defense that they put out there. Code, Tapping, Karaki, Roscoe, and Coughlin. However, on a third and long situation, the punt holds up in the breeze. Trinity downfield in a hurry, putting a stop to Danny Proskew. Sergio Oliveras.
That's right, Oliveras downfield very quickly. Obviously Roy Willis had something to say to that punt cover unit, and they were downfield and actually forced St. Albert into a bit of a loss there on that return. But from midfield, more good field position with the wind for Trevor Lovick.
Jason Edelston out over the football. Lovick, Halliburton nominee a year ago with Holy Trinity. First and 10 at center field stripe. And a pickup across the 50-yard line. Inside the 50-yard line, Corey Albrecht, the fullback, 5'10", 175. He and Dan Procue out of the backfield. Very productive pair of running backs for the St. Albert Storm. Lovick, meanwhile, a very good passer when they do put it up, but sometimes they like to go to the ground. This time, though, on play action, the pass is complete. The catch made by Sean Whitecotton, tight end at 6', 205, and the big guy rambles down and to near the goal line and out of bounds about the 2. Sean Whitecotton, third year with the St. Albert Storm.
What's beautiful about this, Tim, is the play faking in the backfield. Watch this bootleg action. Trevor Lovick, you must have good coaching. And now watch this big man rumble. Good downfield blocking from the wide receiver. And I believe it's number 32 for Holy Trinity that just stops him out on the 1. That's Jeff Dzerek.
Storm now, first and goal, the 1.5-yard line. Give to the second man who's stopped prior to reaching the line. It was Dan Procue with a football. Jeff Schmidt, right inside linebacker, made the stop. Schmidt starts offensively at fullback, defensively at an inside linebacker position.
St. Albert goes for a little misdirection play, faking to the fullback, and it takes a little while to develop in that goal line area. I like the quick hitters, Tim, in the goal line area where everyone pretty well knows where you're going. Let's see what they do on second down.
Storm up 7-0 already, 6:20 to go opening quarter. Knocking on the door again as they stack the backfield. Mix up loose ball. Trojans, that is the Storm, appear to have recovered. The bench looks on.
This is a fumble between the quarterback and the running back, and you'll see Trevor Lovick come in late here and just get the ball, steals it away from a Trojan player. Number 33, I believe that handoff was a little bit low, but 33, Danny Procue.
That's it. So now the Storm are third and goal from the 2. Trinity doing things right down to the goal line. A little help from some mishandling of the football. There's a Another indication of a strong goal line stand as they stack it up at the front three of Troy Christie, Gary Schlosser, Hiram Henderson. And it is a turnover on downs at the Trinity goal line. Big stand for the white and black.
The ball goes to Corey Albrecht here on a power-off tackle. Corey slants it inside, as you'll see. Bounces off one tackler, but that initial tackler, I couldn't pick up the number. They're congratulating number 24 over on the sidelines, Bob Lambert.
Or Rob Lambert.
That's right. I forgot we're in Alberta, Tim. That's right.
Take your choice. So the Trojans are first and 10 of the 1-yard line after a great goal line performance. Van Diest. Oh, there's a dropped football in the end zone. The ball still loose. Touchdown, St. Albert Storm. Dean Roshko, the safety, falling on the loose football. My God.
What a heartbreaker for Holy Trinity after stopping them on that third down gamble. Big play from their defense. And look what happens. The offense has a fumble in the backfield. Number 4, Sergio Oliveras, and the quarterback, Van Diest, having a little trouble getting the football away.
Somebody tried to kick it out of there, and it ended up in Dean Roscoe's mitts. Now, that's 2 touchdowns for Roscoe here in the early going. 5:07 to go in the quarter. He got one 38 yards on a punt return. And then just now, Corey Albrecht adds the point after touchdown. So 14-0 lead for the St. Albert Storm, but there are flags on the field.
Looks like the flag is going against Holy Trinity, offside. The convert will stand, and it's 14-0 very quickly.
Storm came into this game with 4 wins, no losses. They had defeated the O'Leary Spartans 21-6, Salisbury Sabres 18-4, and those are the big teams perennially in the Metro Conference. Then they beat Jordan 36-0 and Leduc 41-0. Have not given up a touchdown in 4 games.
And that Leduc team, Tim, is not bad. They've got an excellent quarterback at Leduc, Keith Kibler. Interesting thing about this Metro League, a lot of these quarterbacks that we're seeing have had experience at Dan Siratuk's Golden Bear Summer Sports Camp. And I know Derek Van Diest and Trevor Lovick, the 2 quarterbacks we're watching today, are both graduates of that program. There's Trevor Lovick there. I'm sure he doesn't want his offense to be getting stopped on the goal line. We've had a special teams touchdown and a defensive touchdown. I think Lovick would like one of his own sometime in this half.
Lots of time left. 5:07 in the first quarter. 14-0. Bitterly cold early October afternoon. As everyone around here knows, we've been getting the bad weather through the early part of this month. We've been lucky the last 4 or 5 years. We've had great weather right through city championships in early November. A short kickoff. It's taken by number 44, Corey Visser of the Trojans. Visser trying to get away. No way. It's Stephen Hannes downfield in a hurry to put a stop to the Trojan kick returner.
And Corey Visser is a linebacker, and he better stay at linebacker, Tim, because he really doesn't understand that if you do get a kickoff short, just get upfield right away, get as many yards as you can straight ahead. Let's watch this. It is a short kickoff. Now, Corey should just head it right up that hash mark, but he's going to try to get some yardage somewhere outside, and the pursuit will get you every time.
So the Trojans are first and 10, back around where they've been their last 2 offensive openings, their 19-yard line. And off to the little guy, Sergio Oliveras at 5'6", 175. Storm again swarming and allowing very, very little. It becomes a 2nd and 10.
The backfield action and ball handling doesn't seem to be that sharp for Holy Trinity. And Dancy, if you call Sergio the little guy one more time, he's perfectly normal height at 5'6".
That's true. I think he's taller than you even, isn't he?
Probably now he is, yeah.
Well, hey, I'll always say you are the greatest 5'5" quarterback I've ever seen.
And the only one.
And the only one.
That's right.
So, Van Diest on 2nd and 11 throws an incompleted pass over to the left sideline area. Craig Balance defending from linebacker position. The intended receiver appeared to be number 20, Jason Senio. There's Jason now. So the Holy Trinity Trojans again in a punting situation deep in their zone.
Now watch this ball thrown. It's good it had a tight spiral on it because it went right through the hands of Balance, who probably would have had a shot at scoring there. Would have been another defensive touchdown for St. Albert Storm. Their offense has moved the ball but has not scored as yet.
Brad Strader standing back at his 5-yard line gets the snap. Puts it up into the wind. It bounces again. The Storm will get great field position, taken on one bounce by James Clancy. Oh, there is another St. Albert Storm touchdown.
That was Dean Rosgo, who had the first touchdown, number 35, again picking up that football. And with his speed, zipping right into the end zone. The punter here, Strader, is a two-step punter, and I think he's going to be blocked later on this afternoon. But here you get a shot at Rosgo, just using his speed. He went in easy.
I referred to him as James Clancy. Of course, Clancy wears number 25, Roscoe number 35. But that's 3 touchdowns, as you say now, for Roscoe in this opening quarter. 3:21 to go. Albrecht going for the point after touchdown. Everything clicks, and it's a 21-0 lead. Well, Dean Roscoe, who is a very valuable member of their defense and moves around, can play it anywhere in the secondary or among the linebackers, and has shown us great stuff on special teams.
He's very smart handling the football back there. He's not letting the ball skip by him, and then once he does get the ball on a return, he heads right upfield full speed, which is something you try to coach young players, and it's a gem when you can get someone who will do that naturally. The bad news here for Holy Trinity is they're going to be kicked off to again, and that's another special team situation chance for St. Albert.
21-0. You'd have to think that it is very difficult for a football team to become inspired to bring themselves back up out of this kind of a hole this early in a ball game.
Well, St. Albert's choice of the wind is probably quite a factor here. Holy Trinity just does not seem to have any life in this first quarter.
It's Jim Candido on the return, and a loose football. Storm say they've got it. They do. And that's at the 30-yard line. Trinity fans saying, yeah, shall we go down to the car and warm up?
Well, here's the replay. Catching it in the air, Candido, and I think the ground made him fumble, Tim. That's the old Leon McQuay routine, and I don't believe that was a fumble, but St. Albert ball nonetheless.
Storm 1st and 10, the 31-yard line of the Trinity Trojans. It's Jason Edelson over the football. Trevor Lovick, couple of fakes. And sweeping around the left side, it's Sean Willis. And down to the 20-yard line.
And Sean Willis is listed as a wide receiver. St. Albert plays that double tight formation, and we'll take a look at this. They're actually in a twin slot formation there. And this is just a reverse, an inside receiver reverse to Willis. And it's a good call, too, because you can probably see how Holy Trinity is trying to stack up the middle.
Van Donzelaar, the tackle on the left side. Aver, the guard on the left. Edelston, the center. Foley, the right guard. Cassidy, the right tackle. 1st and 10. Storm. That's Corey Albrecht. And the fullback is down to about the 17-yard line. Pick up a 3 or 4.
Another shot of Roy Willis. We'll see how long it takes him to put up that hood because it is cold out there. Just some nifty running all on his own by number 22, Albrecht. And you saw number 61 come in there a little bit late for Holy Trinity, Gary Schlosser. Big boy at 6'3", 280.
Trinity missing some tackles. So we've seen a lot of that already here. 1 minute 43 to go in the opening quarter. 21-0. St. Albert Storm. already looking to add to that total. Again, shedding blocks and working his way down to the 5. It's Danny Procu. 5'8", 170, running a lot bigger than that. Second-year Storm down to nearly the 5-yard line, where the Storm will be first and goal.
Same play they ran earlier to the other side with Willis, and now Procu on the end around, you might call it. Nice tackle finally made by number 44, Corey Visser, who's been on a lot of tackles. And look at the Storm. They look fairly happy with the way things have gone early.
Makes for a long, long day for everybody else. So the Storm are first and goal from near the 5-yard line. Lovick, the handoff into the end zone. It's Corey Hannes. And the St. Albert Storm get their 4th touchdown of the opening quarter with Stephen Hannes out of Belrose High School in St. Albert. The Storm made up of 3 St. Albert area high schools.
And it doesn't look like they're fooling around anymore on the left side. Just a straight ahead off tackle play. Great job blocking, especially by the St. Albert left tackle.
5-yard touchdown run. Stephen Hannes. And Albrecht goes for the point after. And he doesn't get it. It's a 27-0 St. Albert Storm lead. Well, this whole first quarter has been played inside the 35-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans.
And Holy Trinity just waiting now for this one last minute of the first quarter to tick down so they can get the wind and maybe at least get some field position. I don't see Holy Trinity moving the football with any consistency against this St. Albert team.
More Metro Conference High School football coming up next week. It'll be O'Leary and Salisbury, traditional rivals in the Metro Conference. And that's always a good matchup.
That will be a good one. Salisbury having a little bit of mid-season trouble. St. Albert handling Salisbury quite easily. And that's rare. That'll be a nice rivalry, though, Tim, when it builds up, is that St. Albert, Salisbury, the 2 outlying communities.
As Rob Lambert thrown down, it looked like a one-arm tackle from number 58, Jason Taves.
Lambert does a much better job of returning the football, getting some yards. We'll see it again. This will be Holy Trinity's best field position to date. That's the idea. Get that football in the air. Now head upfield. Get some yards upfield.
Oh, it was a 2-hand tackle. Good special teams contained. 37-yard line, the Trojans. Holy Trinity out of Millwoods, 1st and 10. Edelston over the football. That is Dan Thames over the ball. And Van Diest throwing a nice ball, but it's picked off by Chris Coughlin at center field. And Trinity's offense is going to be well rested by the time this quarter is over. Just 23 seconds remaining.
And a little bit of action right at the end there. Holy Trinity obviously frustrated and some cheap shots thrown. We'll get a really good look at this. Van Diest trying to go down the center to his inside receiver, but throws right into the teeth of the zone. Once that knee touches, it's over. Oh. A little bit of a low blow there with that pitch. Number 20, Jason Senio, probably out for a series.
Look at Ken Nordholm, the nose tackle there. Chris Coughlin, number 40 with the interception, the left corner. Grade 11 out of Paul Kane.
Nordholm looks like a big boy.
Sure is. So the Storm now 1st and 10 at their 48-yard line. In between the hash marks, Edelston behind. The pass, oh, a nice reception inside the 35-yard line. Danny Procu out of the backfield, and the report on him was that he is a very good receiver out of the backfield, but it goes for naught. They say he did not have the football.
Well, they send Procu in motion here. You'll see now they've got 3 receivers to one side. And a beautifully thrown football. That would have been an outstanding catch. And not bad coverage from Holy Trinity. That was just a very fine throw from Trevor Lovig and an outstanding effort from Prockey.
Sure was. Lovig showing the arm. 62% passer efficiency-wise. That was the last play of the opening quarter. 27-0 for the St. Albert Storm.
And ironically, Tim, Trevor Lovig may be the best receiver on the team as well. If they could ever design a play where he could toss one to himself, he'd win the Halberton, I'm sure. There's Bob Braben. He was guest coaching with the Bears with me this year, Tim, and he beat me out as guest coach of the year.
Well, he is a little more mature.
That's right. I got to grow one of those beards.
Bob Braben, age 48 right now. Second down for the St. Albert Storm. 2nd and 10. That's James Clancy. And he's inside the 55 of the Holy Trinity Trojans. It was Jeff Schmidt, the right inside linebacker, putting the stop on James Clancy, a senior out of Paul Kane.
Almost looks like an inside receiver there offside, but nevertheless, Clancy on the sweep. First down and a nice open field tackle right in front of our cameras by Jeff Schmidt.
Van Donzelaar, Aver, Edelston, Foley, Cassidy, the front 5 of the St. Albert Storm. Trevor Lovig, an honors student. Among the top 1 or 2 or 3 quarterbacks in Edmonton High School football, it's Clancy trying to follow the blocking around the right side. Loose football is picked up by the pulling guard, Kyle Swekla, and he advances into first down territory.
And St. Albert not being able to do much wrong. Number 44 for Holy Trinity, Corey Visser, makes the strip here. Here's the sweep. Same play to the other side. Now watch Visser just strip the ball. Just give me that. And number 59 picks it up. Everything going St. Albert's way. And look at him lumber for another first down.
Yeah, Kyle Swexler looks a lot bigger than 5'10", 175, and is a freshman. At the 42-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans, St. Albert Storm once again on the march. Lovett goes outside. The catch on the screen by Danny Procchio out of the backfield, and a gain of 3 or 4.
Actually, they're using Procchio now as a slot back in their twin formation, and he's their left slot, and he just runs a quick out. I'm sure Bob Raymond got this play from the U of A Golden Bears. Look at the good coverage there supplied by number 17, Brad Rosen. But a fine catch.
Bob Raymond likes to move guys around, too. On defense particularly, on offense they do it as well. Sometimes line up a couple of tight ends, sometimes one, sometimes none. Second down, 7 to go. They're at the 38-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Lovett with good time, throws over the middle. The catch is made by Chad Robinson. Tight end slash slot back on the right side.
Outstanding timing from Lovett to Robinson on the 5-step drop. Just watch the timing on this play. It's a hook out. It's not even an out pattern. He just hooks it to the outside. Actually, Robinson probably has the option there, Tim, of hooking it in or out. A tight end option, and an excellent read from Trevor Lovett.
First down, Storm at the 28-yard line. They're up 27-0, 9:22 to go in the opening half. Lovig again back to pass. Here comes the pressure. Throws. Man is open. And real open. It's Robinson. Touchdown. Third year Storm, Chad Robinson. Paul Kane Sr. And it is a runaway at least.
And why not? Same play to the other side. That time they were using Procchio as a decoy in motion to the right. And this is just another hook-out pattern by Robinson. And after he catches the ball this time, he uses that speed to get in the end zone. This St. Albert Storm offense, obviously a high-powered aerial attack they are showing us.
33-0. Albrecht will try to make it 34. 34-0. St. Albert Storm, 9:09 to go in the opening half. And there is the touchdown pass for Trevor Loving that he'd been waiting for. So far, an offensive touchdown run by Hannes, 3 touchdowns by Roscoe, 1 on special teams, that is 2 on special teams, and 1 is a fumble recovery in the end zone. And the law, all by himself up there.
They've got a lonely job at high school football these days. Not like when you and I were in school, Nancy, over at those games at Renfrew Park. They had an entire division in the stands.
Now, you're getting cocky as you get old. I remember when you used to call me Mr. Dancy.
That's true. Yeah, I think Trevor started that, and I just took his good example.
Of course, you guys haven't seen enough of each other for that good example to stay on, huh? The return by Jeff Schmidt, who's probably been the best player on the field today for the Holy Trinity Trojans as a linebacker, as a kick returner, and out of their backfield as a fullback.
He's obviously a very good football player and tough, too. This is a good kick to Schmidt, and he's heading for the sideline return in the wall, and eventually a really good tackle made from 44, Craig Balance.
Injury over at the bench is the big guy, Gary Schlosser, who checks in at 6'3", 280. And then now Troy Christie, who had just returned to their lineup. He ordinarily will start both ways, but is starting only at left hand today. A thigh injury, and this is his first game back in a couple.
And Christie is 6'4", 230 pounds, and Schlosser 6'3", 280. 2 of Holy Trinity's biggest players out with injuries right now.
Schlosser goes both ways at nose guard defensively and at left tackle offensively. So the Trojans, with lots of catching up to do, are first down from the 41-yard line. And the Storm are all over the ball carrier, Sergio Oliveras, and drop him for a loss of 3 or 4.
You'll see on the replay, Oliveras has made up his mind he's going outside, even though there's a pretty good lead block here. There you see the lead block, number 54, Troy Schultz. And Oliveras just taking it outside, even though the block was to the outside. Oliveras has to cut that inside, and he'll gain 5 yards.
Second down 11. The loss was only 1. At the 40-yard line, their own 40, Holy Trinity Trojans with negative net offense in this ball game. Loose football. Van Diest has to scramble to pick it up. The pressure's coming. He's just going for broke deep down into a crowd, and it's almost picked off. It was in and out of the hands of Tony Perez, number 90, and then a near interception by the St. Albert Storm. Dave Yakalaziak. No, sir. We're looking for a number 6 on our roster.
Van Diest was actually trying to set up what looked to me like a sleeper play to Tony Perez. They had Perez right over on that Holy Trinity bench, just about an inch onto the line of scrimmage. Goes for naught. That's a knee joint, Tim.
And it is the knee joint of Troy Christie. Don't have to put any ice on it today. Just roll back the pan and let the breeze get to it.
Look at this.
This is Dean Roscoe. He already has 3 touchdowns in this first half. Down inside the 40-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Tony Perez in on the tackle.
Well, Dean Roscoe is going to set some kind of North American record for punt return yardage, and he wants it too. Loves to take it on that 1 or 2 hops, and now he just lets the speed go to work. Good downfield blocking. Now he cuts it in. If he would have kept to the outside that time, he might have had a little more yardage, but a nice tackle from Tony Perez.
Read the lanes pretty well.
And he's getting a breather there on the St. Albert Storm bench. He needs it.
Dean Roscoe out of Paul Kane, a senior. So the Storm up 34-0, 6:41 to go in the opening half. Our first and 10 at the 38-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. It's Stephen Hannes. He has one of the touchdowns. Going around the right side, manages to shed 2 or 3 attempted tackles, and is inside the 15-yard line. Stephen Hannes
number 61, Jason Edelson, and number 67, Adam Cassidy on that right side. Outstanding lead blocking. Good camera work. Look like St. Albert fans. They're happy.
Very small crowd suffering through this Arctic weather today. First down at the 20-yard line. Storm trying to add to this total. They're on the verge of going 40 up in the first half. That's Sean Willis. Dragging tacklers with him down inside the 10-yard line. Sean Willis. Outstanding effort by the 6'1", 160-pound grade 11 student out of Melrose High School in St. Albert.
And he was dragging Curtis McCrae, number 55. He was dragging Corey Visser, 44, and Rob Lambert, 24. That's Willis, the slot back. Little spin move, and now watch him just drag these players 4 yards inside the 10.
Part of the problem when you're dealing with 170-pound linebackers.
James Clancy now has the football at the Holy Trinity 5-yard line.
It's more Metro Conference high school football next week. O'Leary and Salisbury. Both those teams still in the hunt. I believe their records are 2-1 heading into this week's series of games. It is a second and goal situation from the 5-yard line. Trevor Lubbock calling the signals. Goal line look. Throwing. And it is a touchdown reception by Chad Robinson, his second of this half, second of this quarter. And it is now a 40-0 Storm lead with 4:56 to go in the opening half.
Little quick play fake inside to Clancy. I saw them working on this pattern in pregame warm-up, and a little hot route to number 36, Robinson. That's Robinson's second touchdown reception. And made it look easy, Tim.
It's all been easy for the Storm here today. Is there a mercy rule or anything in high school football? Flags go down as the snap is high, and the hold by Lubbock just doesn't happen.
Well, one of the magic numbers, I think, for high school football teams is 50 points. You know, in the CFL, if you're in this situation late in the game and you're still tossing the ball downfield for touchdowns, you're going to probably have to deal with the opposing head coach after the game. But in high school football, 50 points is kind of a magic number. I don't think teams will be worried too much if you're throwing the football. But once you hit 50, when you start to pile it on after that, that can get opposing coaches a little bit upset.
Under 5 minutes left in the opening half. They'll do that again. Only from 5 yards further out. Corey Albrecht. And it's a 41-0 lead. Mr. Albrecht making his way back over the sidelines, along with some St. Albert Storm players who are probably saying, oh hum, right about now. Yeah, the Storm have not given up a touchdown in their first 4 games. Again, their victories 21-6 over O'Leary, 18-4 over Salisbury, 36-0 over Jordan, 41-0 over Leduc. A team in its 5th year. Bob Raymond's been the head coach all those seasons.
And last year, as you mentioned, Tim, Holy Trinity had beat St. Albert. I wonder if there's a bit of a revenge factor here. I'm sure there is. That was a city championship game that Trinity had defeated St. Albert in last year.
Would have been a Tier 2 or Division 2 playoff final. And the kickoff from Jamie Story, yet another one.
Oh, no. Oh,
That's
guess who?
now 6 kickoffs and another. Is it
Yes.
a turnover?
Guess who got the football?
It's Dean Roscoe.
Mr. Excitement.
3 touchdowns in the opening quarter by Roscoe. 2 on special teams, 1 on defense. Almost broke a punt return for another touchdown earlier on in this quarter.
Unless there's 2 or 3 guys wearing number 35. Look at that. The Trinity player just kicking the football to Roscoe. That was 24, Rob Lambert. And a magic day or what for number 35.
That's Curtis Sikora, number 40, going over to the bench, and it is a 1st and 10, St. Albert Storm from the 34-yard line, 33-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Jamie Story into quarterback now as Trevor Lovick gets an early break. James Clancy is working the ball upfield and behind Edelston and Aver.
And that's a classy move, Tim, from Bob Raymond, who's a classy guy anyway, to put in Jamie Story, his backup quarterback, as kind of I'm sure, a gesture to the Holy Trinity Trojans that we're going to take it a little bit easy on you, and it gives Story some valuable game experience.
Story, first-year player. Oh, here's another opportunity. Danny Procue sweeping around, and he's down inside the 5-yard line, and the flag goes down. And again, the Trojans allowing the Storm yet another chance at a major score, with still 3:49 to go in this opening half.
And Jeff Zarek with the game-saving tackle. Little counter trap action. They've had a lot of success with that, and this time running with Procue inside the 5.
St. Albert Storm had 26 returning players this year. They aren't going to suffer a lot through graduation this year, because when we see guys like Procue, and noting they are grade 11 players, you know that they've got some strength coming back.
That's for sure. We've got an illegal block him. It brings St. Albert back 10 yards.
They say it's a 1st and 10 now. Storm at the 19-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Sun's out now. Warming things up just a little bit. Procue with the football. And a nice tackle by Hiram Henderson, the right defensive end, who hit a lot heavier than the 190 pounds that he carries.
Holy Trinity with a big blitz on 1st down, and obviously trying to get after this Jamie Story, number 9, the new quarterback that's in for St. Albert. Good strategy by the Holy Trinity coaching staff.
Story over to the bench, talking with Bob Raymond. Day's over for that young man, who, as I recall, is Troy Christie, defensive left end. 3:22 to go in the opening half, 41-0, St. Albert Storm. And we're up here in this very lonely Clark Stadium press box. It's a lot warmer than sidelines. Forrest Kennard, Tim Dancy, and it is a lot better vantage point than Varsity Stadium, where we were last week.
Very nice, and the plywood is thicker up here too.
And the wind doesn't penetrate as easily. 2nd down and 10, Storm. 19-yard line. 3:15 to go in the half. It's Procue. Slips shy of the 15-yard line.
And another tackle from Jeff Schmidt, 22 for Holy Trinity.
Schmidt's been the guy for the Trojans.
He's playing with some intensity. You know, as we take a look at the replay again on this, very slow developing handoff, and you can see that Jamie Story does not have the kind of backfield action that Trevor Lovick does, which is quite normal. But Holy Trinity not playing with an awful lot of emotion. It's one thing to be losing the football game, but it's another to be losing without emotion. And number 22, Jeff Schmidt, if his teammates just watch him play, they can come out in the second half and do a much better job.
Field goal attempt on 3rd and 7. This is coming from the 23-yard line by Albrecht. He's wide to the left. And gets a single point. Conceded by Brad Rosen.
Smart move by Rosen to concede. 1 point doesn't matter at this stage, and it gets Holy Trinity some very needed field position. They'll start at the 35-yard line, and they've got 2:18 left. try to mount some kind of offense. Even a first down at this point, Tim, would be a big step forward for Holy Trinity.
42-0 for the Storm. 2:18 to go. Touchdowns by Roscoe on a 38-yard punt return. Roscoe on a fumble recovery in the end zone. Roscoe on a 35-yard punt return. Hannes on a 5-yard run. Robinson on a 28-yard touchdown reception from Lubbock. And again on a 5-yard touchdown pass from Lubbock. And a 23-yard single on a missed field goal by Albrecht. All of this contained within the first half of this ball game.
There you see some gang tackling on Schmidt. Number 50, Dave Gronowski, was the initial hitter. And then Schmidt took a couple of big hits from 2 or 3 other St. Albert Storm.
Schmidt's shaken up as well.
Tim, you and I'd be shaken up here too. Watch the hits that Schmidt takes on. There you saw number 35 in there for St. Albert, Dean Rajgo, who's got all the points, putting his helmet right in the back of Schmidt. And I know that wasn't a deliberate spear, but Schmidt's shaken up.
Favoring the right forearm.
And that's unfortunate for Holy Trinity because that young man has been a real spark plug, both offensively and on special teams. Hopefully he'll be back for the second half. Tim, you and I want to see him back for the second half.
Indeed. It's Dan Tames over the football. Schlosser, Tishka, Tames, Schultz, and Loyola are the offensive line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Again, it's all uphill for these guys right now. Good bit of running by Brad Strader.
And that should be close to a first down depending on the spot.
Jim Candido, actually, the running back.
Now, here's the kind of backfield action I know head coach Roy Willis wants to see. Nice mesh there, and watch the hit put on by number 50 for St. Albert, Dave Gronowski.
A look at Schmidt being attended to. That's 3 important injuries for the Trojans in this opening half.
And I think some injuries can come a little bit quicker when you're down 42-0, although that injury to Schmidt is completely legitimate. He took some hits.
Van Diest, inexperienced, can't run with the ball, throws the ball from the pocket. There's a flag down, perhaps some interference against Dave Gronowski, number 50, the linebacker, covering against Tony Perez.
And Gronowski's figured in on these last 3 plays. Van Diest with a nice throw over the middle and a good call from the official. This will give Holy Trinity another first down. They've got a march going now, Tim, and that's be a great way to end this half if they can get it into at least field goal range.
They're at their 54-yard line. Van Diest, the quarterback, Schmidt and Oliveras ordinarily out of the backfield. Oliveras in there for certain. Perez or Orsino would be in there now too. Van Diest, the pass. Good heads-up play by Sean Roble to make the catch. Number 88 down at the 50-yard line. Pickup of about 6 yards.
Good play fake and a nice completion in there to 88. Roble. Another good throw from Derek Van Diest, and look at the hits he's taking. Number 54 who got the most of them, Brent Layton. And Roble bounces right back up. A nice 7-yard gain.
Down to 50 seconds left in the opening half. With Forrest Canada, I'm Tim Dancy. This is the game on VTV, also seen on the Shaw system. Videotron Sports Production. Second down and 4 at the 49-yard line. Van Diest, the running back, Oliveras banged into each other in the exchange of the ball, but Oliveras has the first down as he charges down inside the 40-yard line to the 37.
Oliveras a little bit shaken up there, but he's back in the huddle. Holy Trinity had a little trouble with the exchange, but some nice inside running by Oliveras, bouncing off tacklers. Another first down. Where was this Trinity offense for the most of this half? They're really moving the ball well now. And with 20 seconds left, should be able to get in at least 2 more plays.
It is the Storm first-team defense out there right now, too. I look down at it. Oliveras trying to make the catch, swinging out of the backfield, takes a hit from Dave Gronowski, and Oliveras isn't getting up. They were scrimmaging at the 37-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 10 from that point. down to 8 seconds. That is 9 seconds left in the half.
Derek Van Diest on the swing pass. They bring a slot into motion. And as he's looking down for the ball, Oliveris is just hammered by Gronowski. Gronowski, we've been saying his name a lot on this drive. And Oliveris was hit in the shoulder. He was not hit in the head region or the helmet. So a neck injury is probably not the problem here, but I would suggest or guess a bit of a shoulder injury.
Well, this has been a forgettable half if you are a Holy Trinity Trojan. Key players being injured with frequency, points being totaled up by the opposition at will, seemingly.
And Oliveris is up. At least he's sitting up. They're probably asking him things like, what's your name? What town are you in? Who's your favorite play-by-play guy? He's all right.
Well, he's going to take some time out, of course. Just 8 seconds left. And we'll be taking some time out here in just a few moments ourselves.
And I'm sure the Gronowski family will get that hit on tape and be playing that for years to come.
The Gronowski hit of the decade.
That's right.
And it's now a second down situation from the 37-yard line. Van Diest being tracked down and mowed down to the 35. That was the last play of the half. And these teams go to the locker room with a 42-0 St. Albert Storm lead intact.
If Holy Trinity can just take what they learned on that last drive and apply it, and I think what they learned is they have to play with emotion. You saw a lot of Trinity players on that last drive really trying hard, and we didn't see that in the first quarter.
42-0 Storm. With Forrest Canada and Tim Dancy, we return in a few moments' time.
One plowed field may not change the world, but what we learn can change our lives. For this family, a plowed field will make the difference between hunger and self-reliance. USC Canada believes small changes make big changes. New growth, new hope. I'm Bruce Coburn for USC Canada, 56 Spark Street, Ottawa.
Water your lawn only absolutely necessary. Reduce evaporation by watering during the coolest part of the day, before 10 a.m. or in the evening.
Just one of hundreds of things that we can do for our environment.
Let's do it now!
For your free booklet, contact Environment Canada. Why not turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth instead of running it continuously? Use a chemical rinsing. This can save up to 80% of the water used in your bathroom.
Just one of hundreds of things that we can do for our environment.
Let's do it now!
For your free booklet, contact Environment Canada.
almost at will, Tim. I didn't see any Trinity players even trying to attack them. Obviously, the little halftime chat just did not work for Holy Trinity. Again, they have to play with far more emotion, and they have a chance to just get out of this with their pride.
That's Sergio Oliveras, number 4. He was shaken up just before the half. First and 10. It is the St. Albert Storm at the 49-yard line, the 48-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Opening moments of the second half. Lovett back in at quarterback. Jamie Story, the backup, had come into play the remaining minutes of the second quarter. Lovett back in control. Very little ground game made there by number 33, Danny Proctor, the halfback. Grade 11 out of Belrose High School. Again, the Storm is made up of 3 separate high schools in the St. Albert area. Paul Kane, St. Albert High, and Belrose. Storm, second down, 9 to go. 47-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. It's Proctor again. Big hole in the drop, the middle. Look at him read the opening. Inside the 30-yard line. Dan Proctor, tackled in by Dan Taylor out of the secondary.
Second and 9 situation, and that's the first time we've seen St. Albert run the football on second and long. Obviously, head coach Bob Raymond telling Trevor Lovig to keep the ball on the ground, keep the clock moving. I think St. Albert knows they're going to get more points in this half. They just don't want to be pouring it on through the air early.
Edelson over the ball for first down at the 28-yard line for the St. Albert Storm. Lovig, quick release. Over the middle, the intended receiver was Sean Whitecott, tight end.
And that's the second time they've gone to Whitecott in the game. He's a big, big inside receiver. They can get that ball to him. He's going to be a tough one to bring down, as we saw earlier in the half.
Big, big kids playing on both these teams. Whitecott checks in at 210. We're talking about 17 and 16 and 18-year-old guys.
Still growing.
Second down, 10 at the 28-yard line. Lovig. Handed off to Sean Willis. Tackled by Rob Lambert. Yep. Everything's just okay here for the St. Albert Storm through this football game.
Third and long. I don't see a kicker on the field. Oh, yeah, they're going to try a field goal. This is going to be a 33-yard attempt, Tim.
Sure is. The kick made by Chad Robinson. And it's now a 45-0 Storm lead. 8:46 to go in the third quarter.
And Robinson will add to his points total for today. Is Roy Willis giving some final instructions to number 20, Jason Senio, a running back.
Coach Bob Raymond allowing some of the other guys to get into some different types of action in this game. Chad Robinson kicking. Albrecht would ordinarily have been the player to attempt a placement. Sean Willis. Coaching staff behind Bob Raymond, people like Larry Oleksiak, Kerry Shell, Neil McLeod, John Osgood's the manager. Not a large coaching staff by comparison to some. Trinity, as an example, have 6 coaches, in addition to, that is, including Roy Willis, the head coach, who is also the defensive coordinator and defensive line and linebacker coach. Trinity down by 45 with almost a whole half of football remaining.
This is about the same spot on the field, Tim. Holy Trinity took the ball to end that second quarter and had such a nice drive. I'm really cheering for the Holy Trinity Trojans right now to make that drive, matriculate down the field, and score some points. Just anything, even a single point here, would come in handy for Holy Trinity's mental set.
There's Bob Brayman, fifth-year coach, age 47. Coached some junior football in Ontario 25 years ago before he moved out to this part of the country.
Before he saw the light and moved out west where the real football's played.
At their 35, it is the Holy Trinity Trojans run play. Oliveira's nothing there. The inside of the defense, Nordholm, the nose tackle. People like Taves and Kronoski inside putting a stop to that. Wasn't Oliveira's at all. It was Jay Hosinger with the football.
And Hosinger is their backup quarterback. We'll keep an eye on that. They may be going to set up some kind of pitch pass. I'm sure that Hosinger has a good arm. He's got nice size for a quarterback at 5'9", 140. But he was in there as a running back in place of Oliveras.
Second down, about 8 to go from the 36-yard line, 36 and a half, Trinity. Van Diest is straight back to throw, has good protection, throws into a crowd, and it's an interception by number 35, Dean Roscoe, who has just had a lifetime ball game here against Trinity this afternoon.
And obviously Roscoe living right. Everything's going his way. This ball is tipped, and it's a pretty good throw from Van Diest. He almost gets the ball away to number 90, Tony Perez, who seems to be the only target he likes to go to downfield.
And both times Van Diest has thrown into that type of a pattern, it's resulted in a turnover, an interception in favor of the Storm. Van Diest showing a nice arm, though, you're right. 7:28 to go, third quarter. The give to Corey Albrecht, Curtis Sikora in on the tackle. A look at the Storm bench, number 35, Dean Roscoe. Nice tight shot of that young man who's obviously enjoying every minute of this outing.
And Dean, we're inviting you right now to the Play with the Gold Bears next week. Give Donlan if you want to. That's the kind of player the Bears need right now.
Second down and 10, Storm. They're at their 53-yard line. Between the hash marks, 30 front from the Trinity Trojans. Lovick straight back to throw. Catch is made inside at the 50-yard line of Holy Trinity. Robinson, Chad Robinson, who has 2 touchdown receptions and a field goal in this ball game, made the catch.
5-step drop from Lovick. He throws right off the 5th step, and some nice fundamentals from Robinson coming back to the football, because as you can see, he was surrounded by Holy Trinity Trojans.
One of the assistant trainers with the St. Albert Storm, wheelchair equipped. It's a 3rd and 3. Storm are going to go for it at the 50-yard line, and why not? They have the first down and much, much more with Danny Procu carrying the load down inside the 40-yard line to the 36 of Holy Trinity.
And it looks like Holy Trinity was going to shut down a quarterback sneak or an inside play, and you see Procu just bounce it outside, running to daylight. Smart running from Procu.
Maybe 75 fans here today. Bitterly cold down at Fieldum. First 10 at the 36, nice bootleg action, the fake and the throw down on a flag pattern left intended for Sean Willis, and didn't go.
Just great coverage from Dan Taylor, the cornerback out there. He was not fooled at all from that bootleg action from Trevor Lovick. And it was good bootleg action. The backfield coach of the Holy Trinity School, first defensive backfield, Ray Gannett, doing a nice job with his people.
To look at Jason Senio, sidelines. Second down. Lovick dealing inside. Jay Hosinger, the backup quarterback, warming up now the sideline for Trinity.
Well, Hosinger went in for that one play a little bit earlier, but then on the next play, number 4, Oliveras, was back in the game for Holy Trinity. Maybe they're contemplating a quarterback change.
Now a 3rd and 3 and a half at the 29-yard line of Trinity. St. Albert Storm, 4:39 to go, third quarter. They lead 45-0. It's like 6'6" down lineman on a short yardage defense. Procu has the first down inside the 25.
And they had Procu behind the line of scrimmage, but just did not wrap up. That would have stalled that St. Albert drive. You'll see it here. Pretty late developing handoff. And number 55 for Holy Trinity, Curtis McCrae, had the chance to make the tackle and just didn't do it.
Roy Willis, 2-3 yards out on the field. First down, Storm. The 24-yard line of Holy Trinity. 4 minutes, 5 seconds to go in the half. Sweep right, Corey Albrecht.
And a great block out there again from Adam Cassidy, number 67. There's the Adam Cassidy fan club in the stands.
Keep moving, girls. Keep moving. It's bitter down there. I would say below freezing by now. Second down, a couple to go at the 16-yard line of Trinity. Lovick, quick release over the middle, a touchdown pass to Sean Whitecotton, who is wide open on a post pattern. And it's now a 51-0 St. Albert Storm lead.
And the Storm cheerleaders having a good time today. This is the same pattern they completed earlier to Chad Robinson for a touchdown. Just a quick, fake, quick hot route to number 70, Whitecotton.
And Lovick's third touchdown pass of the ball game.
I love a high school offense, Tim, that uses play action down inside that 10, 15-yard line.
Another Trojan injury. 7 touchdowns now for St. Albert in this ball game. And lots of time to go. That's Greg Carabine, a 5'6", 175-pound linebacker.
And the Trojans are only carrying 34 players in this game as opposed to St. Albert with a nice high school complement of 45 players.
Albrecht going for the point after touchdown. 52-0 St. Albert Storm. They're looking for their third straight whitewash. Beat Jordan 36-0 2 weeks ago. Leduc 41-0 last week.
And if the Trojans keep losing players like this, they're going to ask one of our camera people to suit up, Tim. Can any of those guys play football?
Well, it may have been in their repertoire some 10 years ago. Let's go to Big Steve Pozovic down there. He'll throw a shadow over your center.
Yeah, but aren't they more the artsy type guys, the sensitive new age types?
That's true. They are creators.
That's right.
So it's a 52-0 Storm lead with 3:17 to go in the third quarter. And it's going to be about time that the city of Edmonton starts turning these field lights on here, too. We hope.
Well, we're still getting a good picture on camera, but you're right, Tim. It's starting to get a little bit dark out here.
Well, now the sun's peeking out one last time. This intermittent cloud cover. And a kickoff from Jay Hosinger for the 8th time in this game. Turned by Schmidt.
And you had to know Jeff Schmidt would be back in this ball game. He's a tough player, and that earlier injury did not stop him.
More Metro Conference High School ball next week. O'Leary Spartans and the Salisbury Sabres. And we'll be right here. Hopefully we're going to get a break in the weather and have a nice mid-autumn type of outing. As you look at the injured Greg Carabine, the Trinity training staff has been hard at work through this ball game.
Ooh.
Oh, a one-pump fake slipping out of the hands of Jay Hosinger, the backup quarterback who's now in. And a quick whistle.
And we Hopefully won't replay that for you, Jay.
Goes as an incompleted pass.
Here you'll see it again. Unfortunately, just the pump fake. And Hossinger wanted to punt that out of somebody's hands. Just a mess of a play there for Holy Trinity. Although he's showing it the good drop back technique.
Hossinger in for Van Diest. It's a second down of the 37 of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Now here's a running play that might work.
And a late hit out of bounds will add to that game. Nice
Jeff
play.
Dezeric, 5'8", 155 pounds, carrying the baggage.
And the Trinity fans have come to life with that one play. Good backfield action and a nice hole. Move outside. Let's see if we can pick up the penalty. That's right, number 35, who's been all over the field today. Dean Roscoe picks up the rough play penalty out of bounds. And a big first down inside St. Albert territory.
All the way down to the 44-yard line of the St. Albert Storm. The best field position of this entire ball game for Holy Trinity. 2:25 to go, third quarter. 52-0 St. Albert. Hossinger. Gronowski with a tackle on Jeff Schmidt. Schmidt, of course, shaken up earlier in this ball game and back in, going both ways once more.
The game of emotion, Tim, and the Trojans seem to be raring to go now all of a sudden. Schmidt, watch the acceleration into the hole, and now Schmidt puts on the hit, and Gronowski has to take one.
But a solid tackle by Gronowski. Second down 6, Trinity, they're at the 40-yard line of the St. Albert Storm. Swarming defense, a gain of maybe 2. Again, Schmidt. Nope, Dezeric that time. A minute 20 to go, third quarter. With Forrest Kennard, I'm Tim Dancy. It's a game on VTV on the Shaw Cable System.
Good call here to go for it on third down. They've been moving the ball finally during the football game. Hossinger leading a good ground attack. This will be a very tough offensive call for Roy Willis.
Dan Thames, 6'3", 190 out over the football. Third down, 5 to go. Flags go down. Hossinger on the run, throwing. Too short for Tony Perez, who is under double coverage down around the 26-yard line. But again, there's a flag back in the secondary of the St. Albert Storm.
I think St. Albert may have had too many people on the field, Tim. That'll give Holy Trinity an automatic first down at the 29-yard line.
So Trinity penetrating further than they've been with 49 seconds left in the third quarter, trying to score the first touchdown of the year against the St. Albert Storm. No one's done it in 4 3/4 ball games. Almost 3 quarters. Senio and Candido, the slot backs. There's all kinds of motion back in the backfield of Trinity. Hossinger under great pressure throwing on the run, was intending the pass for Jeff Dezeric. But the heat was coming, led by 44 Craig Balance, left linebacker.
And they had the halfback blitz on as well from Lance Holstrom. Big pressure on Hossinger. Lots of motion, and Schmidt was wide open downfield, but when you have that much motion and that many backs and receivers in the patterns, it doesn't leave an awful lot of people to pick up the blitz.
Second down and 10, Trinity. They're at the 29-yard line of the St. Albert Storm. Storm with 4 down linemen. They shift from a 40 to a 30 front on and off. Tackled by Paul Ferrier out of the linebacking core. And very little yardage, 3.5 to the 26-yard line. Trinity sending in a couple of fresh bodies from the bench. As you look at the Storm,
Bad haircut, Tim. Bad haircut. They may be ahead 52 nothing, but they better come into the big city for haircuts.
I think you're just lost in the 70s, my friend.
Oh, no, not that decade.
That was the last play of the third quarter. We move into quarter number 4 with the St. Albert Storm leading 52 to nothing and trying to hold the Trinity Trojans off the score sheet. Nice logo. Storm, of course. St. Albert Storm do most of their own fundraising as a unit. They don't receive a lot of money to keep the program operating from the school board out there, but in fact generate their own revenue in various ways.
Oh, I like it. I like it. That's an interior lineman, number 52, carrying the football. Greg Tiska. He's a guard, the old guard around, but I've never seen it ran like that.
Little surprise for the black and silver.
Well, Van Diest hands the football off to number 8, Jim Candido, who in turn hands the football off. It's almost like a reverse, and they get some good yards out of it.
Tishka acting like he was pulling from his left guard spot to lead the rush right. Carried the pigskin. That's the first down inside the 25-yard line. The 23 is where it's placed.
That was a third down gamble for Holy Trinity. They ended up about a yard short of a first down, so St. Albert will take over.
See, when I get cold, I lose concentration. In fact, it is a Storm football. First and 10 at their 23-yard line. And the shutout continues. Lovick going deep, overthrowing the intended receiver near the 50-yard line by about 5. Danny Procu was the intended pass catcher.
And he was wide open, and Trevor will know what I'm talking about. He's got to throw a 3 arc on a pass like that. He's got to lay it up high and deep and just allow Procu to run under it. Trevor Lovick threw that football about 40 yards on a line. That really displays his nice arm strength, but he'll get the touchdown pass if he lays up the 3 arc. Sorry, Trev.
Jason Edelson out over the football. Lovick gave way to the backup quarterback Jamie Story for 2 or 3 minutes at the end of the first half. Lovick can fake with the best of them on a draw. Stephen Hannes, who has one of the touchdowns here today, carrying the football. Gain of about 8. Need to get across the 30 for the first, across the 34-yard line, the 33 for the first down. That's Gary Schlosser. They've been looking at Gary on and off through the course of this game. Schlosser checks in at a rather imposing 6'3", 280, just 17 years old.
This is 3rd and 1, Tim. A lot of confusion with St. Albert. I'm sure they'll be taking a too long in the huddle penalty unless they call a timeout.
9:39 to go in regulation time, 52 to nothing. St. Albert Storm with a rare punt. It's the first time today, isn't it?
That's right.
Takes a great St. Albert bounce or 10. 32 is Jeff Zarek on the return. Look at this. Listen to those Holy Trinity fans go crazy as the shutout may end. Zarek heading for pay dirt, and he's down inside the 5-yard line.
Holy Trinity Trojan fans have something to cheer about.
We want to see that one again.
Wayne and Garth had called this punt return mega excellent. It goes about 55 yards with the bounce.
Good kick by Albrecht.
Excellent kick. Little stutter step, I think, froze the St. Albert punt cover unit. And watch Jeff Zarek just take off down the sidelines, weaving and bobbing. Finally, number 22 for St. Albert, Corey Albrecht, takes him out on the 3-yard line. Big pressure now, Tim, on the St. Albert Storm defense to try to keep their shutout record intact.
There's Rob Lambert. Well, now, it's a first and goal situation for the Holy Trinity Trojans. And a misplay of the ball. Trojans get knocking on the door, And then the wheels fall off, at least for the moment.
Sean De Bruin in on the tackle. That's really disappointing. They have a chance to at least get a touchdown. Very poor action there. They've got Hossinger back in at quarterback. Come on, Trinity, put it in the end zone here.
Real tough to see those Trinity numbers, isn't it? Even watching on a monitor, they're at the 15-yard line, a second down. Hossinger, the give is to Jeff Schmidt, the fullback, and is stopped about the 7-yard line by, again, a herd of Storm. 7:48 to go.
You'll see Sean De Bruin with his second consecutive tackle. Pitch counter had some potential, but you see De Bruin grabs the sweater and hauls him down. This will be third down, Tim, and they're going for it. They want that touchdown to end that St. Albert streak.
The defense looking around, getting into place. Like to stunt a little bit. Hossinger under pressure, on his feet. Hossinger down to the goal line.
Will they give it to him?
There.
Big collision right at the 1-yard line, and the officials are saying he is stopped.
So, the Trinity Trojans come within inches of ending a 4-game, almost 5-game streak of no touchdowns allowed by the St. Albert Storm. And the Storm hang in there and continue to shut this team out 52-0.
Well, Hossinger was looking deep downfield. He had one man open deep in the end zone, and you saw Sergio Oliveras at the goal line. But Hossinger decided to keep it, and what an effort by Hossinger. Nice try. But this St. Albert Storm defense coming up big.
Welcome to Clark. Yeah, we're behaving up here. 6:47 to go. And the Storm starting out from the goal line. Oh, here goes Hammes. Hammes all the way out to the 25-yard line before Dan Taylor can put the hit on him.
Dan Taylor's made some big tackles today, and that one was a touchdown saver. This would have been 109 yards for a touchdown from Hammes. You'll see Taylor with the nice technique to force Hammes inside and gets the shoestring tackle.
Sign of a clip back there that wasn't flagged. First down and 10 at their 25-yard line. St. Albert Storm, 6 minutes, 5 seconds to go. By the way, Jamie Story's back in at quarterback. Throws deep down the left sideline and way too far for the intended receiver. Another look down at the bench at the injured Gary Schlosser. Trinity needs Schlosser in there at defensive end.
Nice boot action from Story. He throws the football out of bounds. Wise move for a young quarterback. Did not have his receiver open on the boot action and didn't want to take a sack. Threw it out of bounds. Let's go to second down.
Newspaper photographer down the sideline. 5:25 to go in this game. Hammes picks up 2. Brought down as he crosses the 30-yard line by a swarm of Trinity Trojans. More Metro Conference High School ball next week. O'Leary and Sal. Replay time Sunday mornings at 9, Tuesday nights at 9, as is the case for all the games we do week in and week out. For sports, Kenneth and I will be there along with Jeff Romaine, our director. Not sure exactly who the host of camera people will be that day. 5:10 to go. 52-0 Storm. They led it 42-0 at halftime. We're up 27-0 after 1 quarter time. There's an injury on the field. Another Holy Trinity player.
Well, they know they're on camera. Let's see what they're going to do.
The countdown to doom.
I think they spelled out Storm, but
Oh,
they have a good academic program at St. Albert. These kids can spell. It's great that they're out here. It's cold, and to come out to a high school football game when the weather's like this, that's outstanding.
Albrecht pulls down the high snap and kicks a beauty
Great
spiral deep down inside the 40-yard line. Had such velocity on it that Brad Risen almost dropped it. Pursued by Storm inside the 35-yard line.
54, Brent Layton leading the charge for St. Albert, and what a kick. That's a pro punt coming from Holy Trinity. Number 27 for St. Albert with a big, big kick.
I think we're talking about Corey Albrecht, 22. I think it looked like a 27. Sometimes we can't tell.
Nevertheless, a 50-yard punt with the wind forces Holy Trinity deep.
Big left tackle in there for Trinity right now. Must be Joe Spaziani in for the injured Gary Schlosser. Looks like Perez back there getting creamed by another host of black and silver. Among the initial tacklers, nose tackle Kent Nordholm. 5'10", 225.
Holy Trinity trying to set up a reverse, and Nordholm in the backfield. I think he saw it coming. He was right there. Made the big hit.
High school players as big as some of these guys when you were playing high school?
No.
You didn't see guys of the 280-pound variety?
Well, if they had them in the league, there was just one or two in the entire league. We're seeing teams with 2 and 3 of these big boys on every squad.
Derek Van Diest is back in at quarterback for Holy Trinity. He had been relieved by Jay Hossinger for most of this second half. 52-0 Storm, holding back a little bit. 3:28 to go in this ball game. A lot of second and third team guys coming in now and playing defense and offense for St. Albert Storm. Again, it is O'Leary and Salisbury next. What do you know about these teams this year, Forrest? They're 2-1 right now.
Well, I know Salisbury started off strong, but they've been struggling lately. O'Leary defeated a strong St. Joe's squad, but just barely. And I know O'Leary's not as strong this year as in previous years. That's going to be a big battle for second place.
That's Brad Strader putting the football into the air. On the return, Dean Roscoe has 2 punt return touchdowns in this game. Both came in the first quarter. He's still on his feet. Roscoe again dragging tacklers with him, this time down inside the 30-yard line. And I would say his chances of being an outstanding player of this game are very good.
Good call, Tim. We haven't picked any stars as yet, but you know that number 35, Roscoe, was going to be the offensive star, and he's done most of his damage from his kick returning duties, and he's played a whale of a game on defense as well with his interceptions.
52-0, 7 touchdowns for the Storm. Boy, it's cold up there, isn't it, guys? Get in down by the crowd where it's a little warmer. Storm, 1st and 10. 29-yard line of the Holy Trinity Trojans. Oh, down inside the 20-yard line. James Clancy.
Nice tackle from Phil Wagner, a defensive halfback. Slow developing play for St. Albert, but we get the really nice cuts here from Albrecht.
Big pulling guards were nowhere to be seen by the end of the play. They supply a moving wall for Clancy. There's now 2nd down and 1 to go from the 20-yard line of Trinity. 1:56 left. Near hash marks, the quarterback, Jamie Story, back up out of Belrose High School. Trevor Lovick's had a fairly easy go of it today. There's a loose football in the exchange. Hannes was the intended ball carrier. I guess the Storm maintained possession. There's no celebrating going on down there. 1:39 to play.
And Bob Raymond playing everybody. I think Bob Raymond's done an outstanding job coaching today. St. Albert has done some things offensively that I know they wanted to work on with their play-action passing, but they've tempered it with a real not wanting to run up the score on Holy Trinity.
A 3rd down and 4 gamble. They've got the first down and much more inside the 5-yard line. Sean Willis. And is he in the end zone? No, I thought he was down around the 3.
That's right, and that's that end around that they've used early in the football game. They're coming back to it late. And the St. Albert coaches still want excellent execution, and they get it here. Look at the blocking. Nice individual effort downfield by Willis.
Ball is at the 2, and it's a 1st and goal there for the Storm with 1 minute left in this game. Flags, whistles going before the play can get off. Jamie Story, the quarterback, an illegal motion or something of that nature coming up.
This would be a big moment for Jamie Story to lead his football team down the field. But that illegal procedure penalty make this job for Story a little bit tougher. We're under a minute.
This guy's just waiting for that hot shower, huh? Story pitch out right side. Hannes down to the 1. 42 seconds left.
You'll see an excellent tackle from Rob Lambert preventing the touchdown. I thought Hannes was in, but Lambert seemed to come out of nowhere to just chop him down.
Touchdown saver by Lambert with 34 seconds now on the clock.
Actually, Tim, let's credit Jeff Schmidt, number 22. I had it wrong. It was Schmidt.
What a great game he's had. Story just diving in behind the center. Jason Edelston. It was a 2nd and goal for the 1. Trinity hanging in tough at their goal line. 19 seconds left, as you can see.
And it's great to see the Holy Trinity Trojans never saying die here, playing hard right to the end, and this could be the last play of the ball game.
Been a long day for the black, gold, and white. This will be the last play, as you say. Story handing off to Hannes. He's in for the touchdown. 58-0 Storm, and a disgruntled Trojans bench. Head coach Roy Willis now's got the hood up.
Almost a delayed handoff there to number 14, Hannes. And many people from St. Albert have got to be very pleased with this high school football program. And we've seen a fine show from the St. Albert Storm today. Congratulations to all of St. Albert. And I know how a community can really get behind a high school team. And Sherwood Park has done it with the Salisbury Sabres over the years. And now St. Albert has a team to be proud of.
Albrecht will try to add the point after touchdown, and it's all over. It's there. 59-0. This game is over. And the Storm controlled it right from the opening second. Roscoe, a 38-yard touchdown on a punt return to make it 7-0 very early in the first quarter. Roscoe, his 2nd touchdown, a fumble recovery in the end zone. Roscoe then a 35-yard punt return for a touchdown, 21-0 for the Storm. Hannes scored a 5-yard touchdown on the ground, 27-0. That was after 1 quarter. 34-0 as Chad Robinson then received the 28-yard touchdown pass from Trevor Lovick. Lovick then hit Robinson with a 5-yard touchdown score. It was 41-0. Albrecht kicked a 23-yard single on a missed field goal. 42-0 at the end of the half. It became 45-0 for the Storm on a 36-yard field goal by Chad Robinson in the 3rd quarter. Van White-Cotton, a 15-yard touchdown reception from Lovick. Lovick's 3rd touchdown pass of the game. It was 52-0, and then Hannes, the last play of the game, a 1-yard touchdown run, his 2nd major score of the game. The point after touchdown by Albrecht was good. 59-0 St. Albert Storm. How about some game stars for us?
Something a little bit different today. Offensive stars, I'm going to give it a tie to quarterback at number 19, Trevor Lovick, with the nice touchdown passes and some excellent timing all day long. He's he's going to be tied up there with number 36, Chad Robinson, who scored 2 nice touchdowns and kicked the field goal. Defensively, number 22 for Holy Trinity, Jeff Schmidt, had an inspired day in a very, very tough cause for Holy Trinity. And as far as just a player of the game, we really haven't done that before, but just as the most valuable player of the game, of course, Dean Rajgo, who was a force offensively, defensively, and on special teams for St. Albert.
Okay, thanks a lot, Forrest. Once again, a rout in favor of the St. Albert Storm. They did it in every way possible and remain unbeaten in 5 games. They have not given up a touchdown in 5 games this season.
That's an amazing record, and that last stand by St. Albert Storm at the end there, excellent work.
For Forrest Kenner, Director Jeff Romaine, and the rest of our crew, I'm Tim Dancy saying see you next time from Clarkston.